Hello everyone, this is Evie the Original Master here, and welcome to the first out of many videos that I'm going to be producing to honor the 10th anniversary of my channel, basically reviewing some episodes from my fan series, and in this one in particular, I am going to be reviewing all of the Season 2 episodes that I had produced so far for the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario. And for this first episode, I'll be reviewing Plush Pals, which was the Season 2 premiere of the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario, and it came out in April of 2021. Now, I am not going to talk about the date of when it came out because I'm not going to beat around the bush and try to look it up because that's not what I'm here for. But, yeah. So, this episode was the Season 2 premiere of the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario, and it basically centers around Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Toad, and Toadette, and they stumble across a portal while they were out taking a walk, and the portal then sends them to a plush dimension where they are turned into plush animals, and because it was Bowser who was involved with this. So yeah, the Mario characters transport into the plush dimension to where they are now plush animals, and they must basically go through the dimension to find a way out to get back to the Mushroom Kingdom where they were from. Now, this episode was actually a really interesting one, is because that I did utilize noclip.website with this one, I only used it for a few of the backgrounds, but most of the episode I've made my own backgrounds using Google Slides, where I found images of the Mario characters and enemies, their plush designs, because obviously there were plush manufacturers who made official Mario plushes, and I've used those throughout the episode. Now, some highlights of this episode that I remembered working on is the first dimension that they visited was a forest area of the plush dimension where Mario and company stumbles across a Wiggler, and so what Mario does, he uses a fire flower to fend off the Wiggler, and there's even a part in the episode where I actually had a Petey Piranha appear. This was his first appearance in the series, and I was going to bring him back in a future episode later down the line. So yeah, a Petey Piranha shows up, and then what happens is that Yoshi and the others finds a bomb, and they give it to Mario for him to use it to defeat Petey Piranha, so Mario ends up defeating him with the bomb. There's another part in the episode where I had this cave, and this is where I've implemented the 8 red coins into the series, is because this was originally a concept that I had for the Bullet Riders episode, which was the final episode of Season 1, which unfortunately got canceled. I've made many videos about this, so I'm not going to go into too much details about Bullet Riders, is because I had already made a whole discussion video about that last year in 2024. But yeah, I've implemented the 8 red coins from that canceled episode into here, where Toad and Toadette collects the 8 red coins to get one of the sacred keys. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention, is that Bowser reveals himself that he was the one who transported Mario and friends into the plush dimension, and in order to return back to the Mushroom Kingdom, they must find 3 sacred keys throughout the different areas of the plush dimension. So yeah, that's another thing that I've implemented into the episode. Alright, so one more highlight I'll bring up is the fight sequence with Bowser. And no, I'm not going to sit here and review the whole episode, is because that if you guys want to see the episode for yourself, you can just go to my channel and watch the Plush Pals episode for your own. I'm just here to give out highlights and some core a core synopsis of what the episode is all about. So yeah, there's the fight sequence with Bowser where I implemented Bowser's clown car, where he uses it to battle Mario and friends at the roof of his plush castle. And so Mario and friends defeats Bowser. They rescue Princess Peach. They find a portal. They hop back into the portal and they're transported back to the Mushroom Kingdom. And that's how the episode ends. So yeah, overall, this was a really fun episode. I really enjoyed working on this one. I am gonna have to end off this review just because my dad just came back, so I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, so next time I'm gonna be reviewing the second episode of season 2, which is Club Toad. So that is gonna be another fun one to talk about. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you guys then. Hello everyone, this is Evie the Original Master here, and welcome to the next part of my 10th anniversary series, where I am reviewing episodes from the second season of the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario and the Powerpuff Girls Power Field series. And so in this video, I will be reviewing the second episode of Season 2 of the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario, titled Club Toad. Now, this episode was really fun to make because I got to introduce or include some character interactions with the other Mario characters that I picked for this episode that I found pretty interesting. So in this episode, Toad starts his very own club when he was bored, and so he basically starts his own club, and so when he ends up starting his club, Mario interferes with the club when he was out walking, and then he noticed that he was hearing music going on, and so he breaks into the clubhouse where Mario becomes a certified member of the club. And so yeah, that's the basic premise of the episode. Now, like I stated earlier, this episode does have some interesting character pairings that I included, such as Toad, Toadette, Yoshi, and Bowser Jr. Yes, Bowser Jr. Is in this episode, and I wanted him to be a part of the episode because I think that would be really interesting, seeing a villain teaming up or participating with the good guys. Now, some highlights of this episode that I really enjoyed, for example, is the scene where Toad was coming up with fun ideas after he was having a picnic with the princess, Princess Peach to be exact, obviously. And so I had this one scene where Toad finds these bananas out in a forest, and he gets attacked by these Yukikis, which are the monkey characters of the Mario universe. There's another part where I had him skydiving into a swimming pool, and then Klepto, which is the condor from Super Mario 64, he swoops in and abducts Toad. And then there was another part where he was playing ball inside the castle with Toadette, and then he kicks the ball into the window and shattering it. That was one of the highlights of the episode. Another highlight that I really enjoyed working on this episode was everyone was watching television, and I actually took this clip from a Rat Boy Genius video, which were these poorly animated fish characters singing. If you guys don't know what Rat Boy Genius is, it's this YouTube channel who is known for making poorly animated segments with music in it, and it's actually a very popular YouTube channel. And because of the poor animations, it actually sticked with people. So I included that video clip into the episode, and Mario ends up roasting it because he thinks it was terrible. And then one more highlight I'll point out is everyone was going out doing a scavenger hunt where they had to find a mushroom, a fire flower, I think a coin, and a Starman, I believe. Yeah, it was a fire flower, a coin, a mushroom, and a Starman. And when everyone brought back their items, Toad scolds Mario because he ended up bringing the wrong colored coin, where it was a blue coin instead of a normal yellow one. And Mario gets upset because he told Toad that he didn't specify which coin he wanted. So it ended up Mario. Well, what I'm trying to say is the episode ended with Mario chasing Toad out of the clubhouse with a chainsaw, and I thought that was really funny. So yeah, overall, this was a really fun episode. I really enjoyed working on this one because of the jokes that I came up with and the interesting character pairings with Bowser Jr., Yoshi, Toadette, and Mario. And yeah, so that's my overall review on Club Toad. So yeah, the next episode I'll be reviewing is going to be Hot, Hot, Hot. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys then with that review. Hello everyone, this is Eevee the Original Master here, and welcome back to the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario review series that I'm doing as a part of my 10th anniversary celebration. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing Season 2, Episode 3, Hot, Hot, Hot. And yeah, so this was a rather interesting episode that I worked on. And this episode came out in July of 2021. And in this episode, Mario and Yoshi travels to the desert with Daisy and to find the secret oasis, and that's the overall premise of the episode. And yeah, like I stated in the very beginning, Daisy plays a big role in this episode, and this is actually the only episode that I worked on that actually has her in the series. And what's really fun about this episode is that I did had some interesting encounters with some of the characters in this episode. Like, for example, in the beginning of the episode, I had the characters arrive at the desert via a bus, and I had a Shy Guy as the bus driver. And there's actually another funny gag in the episode where a Womp was reading a book, and he told Mario, Yoshi, and Daisy to pipe down while he was trying to read. There's another highlight in the episode where the Angry Sun from Super Mario Bros. 3 plays another role in the episode where it was basically making the environment very hot, and Mario and Yoshi were too happy about it because since they're out in the desert, they they couldn't handle the heat. So Daisy told them to just let it go and whatnot. Another highlight that I really enjoyed with this episode were the two Pokies, the two Pokey characters that I introduced in the episode, named Peter and I think Jerry. Yeah, Jerry and Peter. And I gave them text-to-speech voices, and that was really fun, giving them text-to-speech voices. And, of course, I also did a highlight at the very end of the episode where the Angry Sun chases Mario, Yoshi, and Daisy through the desert, and Yoshi eats the Angry Sun. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to figure out what exactly happened at the end of the episode. I don't think he ate the Angry Sun, I think. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what exactly... I know at the end of the episode, Yoshi breathed out fire or something. I think the Angry Sun must have, like, shot a fireball, and Yoshi must have eaten it, and he breathed fire back at the Angry Sun. I think that's what have happened, but yeah, that's all I remembered from the episode. And one more highlight I'll bring up with this episode is that I had a little Easter egg where when they went to buy a map, I had this green toad searching for the map, and the Easter egg was that I actually put in Miyamoto, the creator of Mario, as a little Easter egg when he threw a picture frame that had a Miyamoto in it. I did that as a little Easter egg. And yeah, overall, Hot, Hot, Hot was a pretty fun episode to work on, and I really enjoyed introducing Daisy to the series, and I might bring her back in future episodes, but I'll have to wait and see on that. Alright, so that is my review on Hot, Hot, Hot. Until next time, the next episode I'll be reviewing is Waltz of the Booze. This is Season 2, Episode 4. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with that review. Hello everyone, this is Evie the Original Master here, and welcome back to my series of reviews that I'm doing on my projects to honor the 10th anniversary of my channel. And this video is going to be my review on Waltz of the Booze from the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario. This is Season 2, Episode 4 of the series. And this episode was a rather interesting one, is because that I've actually introduced the Booze enemies to the series. And this episode centers around Luigi, and he visits a haunted house, and he basically sees a bunch of Boos inside the haunted house, and when he comes back from his little trip of visiting the haunted house, he notices that Mario was going out for dinner with Princess Peach and Toad, and so Luigi decides to tag along with Mario. So he goes out, buys himself a dress, or suit, that is, and the two head out to have dinner with the princess. Now, like I stated earlier, this episode was a rather interesting one because I did introduce the Boo enemies. I've introduced many different species of Boos. As a matter of fact, in the beginning of the episode, I had a Behemoth from New Super Mario Bros. 2 acting like a conductor, where he conducts these Boos. It's like a Boo choir, and inside the haunted house. I thought that was a really fun scene to work on. And I also had the Peepa from Super Mario 3D Land, and I also had a Big Boo and Bruiser from the new Super Mario Brothers games as the Boo species in this episode. And another thing that I really liked about this episode was I was able to change the style of the episode, where Mario and Luigi were wearing different outfits opposed to their normal overalls that they will usually wear. They were actually wearing these fancy attire, because the episode focuses on them going out to dinner with the princess, and I was able to find this this custom-made sprite, Princess Peach, in a dress that I used in the episode, and the Toad with the bow tie and the fancy attire that came from Paper Mario Color Splash for the Wii U. I used those as the dress, as the characters' outfits for the episode, and then we had the climax at the end, where Mario realizes that Luigi went to a haunted house when he explained to him about it. And then Mario says that if you visit a haunted house, there will most likely be a chance where a Boo will follow you back to your home. So, oh yeah, that was another thing about this episode, is that the Boos threw a party at Mario's house while they were gone, and I had the spooky, scary skeleton song playing in the background as the music that they were listening to. And so Mario and Luigi arrives back home, realizing that Luigi had brought home a Boo into the house, and so he uses the Poltergust, which is the vacuum in the Luigi's Mansion series. He sucks up the Boos, and then he basically sends the Boos through a warp pipe until they come out from the warp pipe and they land back into the ghost house. And yeah, that's really all I have to say for Waltz of the Booze. So yeah, this was a rather fun episode to work on. I really enjoyed the concept of this episode, and I did like the fact that I was able to change things up a bit in terms of the outfits that the characters would wear, and I really liked the concept of the Boos throwing a party at Mario's house while they were gone. Alright, until next time, everyone, the next episode I'll be reviewing is Crazy Traptions. This is Season 2, Episode 5. And, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hello, everyone, this is Eevee the Original Master here, and welcome back to the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario review series that I'm doing. And in this video, I will be reviewing Season 2, Episode 5 of the series, Crazy Traptions. So yeah, this episode is the last episode that I produced in the year 2021 for the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario. And what's also unique about this episode is that I actually released this episode on my birthday on December 23rd of 2021. And so in this episode of the series, Waluigi makes an appearance in this episode. This is his debut episode, and Wario and Waluigi team up to create these crazy contraptions so they could capture the Mario Brothers. So that's the overall synopsis of the episode, and this was actually a really fun episode to work on, is because, as I stated, I introduced Waluigi to the series, and the way how I introduced him into the show is that he was living in this house. I used the Rogue Port map from Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door for this scene, using the noclip.website website, and so yeah, he's living in this house out in the middle of nowhere, and he's watching television, and that's when Wario pays him a visit, and he comes up with the idea that maybe him and Wario could capture the Mario Brothers. So some of the contraptions that they make for this episode is that first they did a thwomp contraption where if they stepped on a switch dedicated to by a red X, a thwomp will come down and it will crush the Mario Brothers. But that didn't ended up being successful. It's because that in the episode I actually had a cameo. I actually brought Toad and Toadette in this episode as a small little cameo where they noticed the switch, and when they stepped on the switch, that's when Wario and Waluigi got crushed by the thwomp when Mario and Luigi was exiting their house to go to the comic book shop to buy a copy of the Super Mario Adventures book. Another contraption that they made was a Bob-omb contraption where I believe well, it wasn't a Bob-omb contraption, I think. No, never mind. What I was trying to say is that their other contraption that they made was this little hand contraption where a hand will come out of a box and then it will snatch Mario and Luigi. But what ended up happening is that they grabbed a Bob-omb and it blew up and they went up into the stratosphere. And so the final contraption that they made was this giant robot contraption. So they made this giant robot, they controlled it, and then they ended up chasing Mario and Luigi out of the comic book shop. And then this is where we get the big climatic ending of the episode, where Mario and Luigi fights Wario and Waluigi inside their giant mech, with Mario and Luigi using their fire powers. They used the Fire Flower power-up, and they used it to defeat Wario and Waluigi. And what was really funny about this scene is that I actually had the stock footage of the Earth blowing up as the rocket, well, not rocket, the robot exploded. Yeah, sorry for all these mistakes I've been making here. And so yeah, and then the episode ends with Waluigi getting really angry at Wario for having his time wasted for all of the failed contraptions. So yeah, overall, this was a rather fun episode to work on. This was really a good one, and I really enjoyed the ideas that I came up with, such as Wario and Waluigi teaming up to make all these contraptions so they could capture the Mario Brothers out of fun and all of that. All right, so that is my review on the Crazy Wild Traptions episode. And yeah, until next time, I'll be reviewing a squeaky situation. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time with that little review. Hello, everyone. This is EB the Original Master here, and welcome back to the review series that I'm doing on the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario for Season 2. And today I'll be reviewing a squeaky situation. Now, as you guys noticed that I'm actually doing a audio format is because for whatever reason, my web camera is not working properly because I went to open up Movie Maker and I went to click on the webcam feature and the camera works, but it shows a black screen. Oh, so I'm doing an audio format, and I mean, to be fair, I mean, you guys already know what I look like, but I usually do these types of videos with my face in them, and I'm gonna see if I can try to get this webcam fixed, but either way, I'm not gonna make a big fuss about it. But yeah, so yeah, a squeaky situation. This is season 2, episode 6 of the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario, and in this episode, it stars Mauser, who is the mouse boss from Super Mario Bros. 2. In this episode, he is evicted from his apartment with his family because he forgot to pay his rent, and so he decides to crash Bowser's place when the other houses he tried to find were not living up to his favor. So Bowser isn't pleased about him living in his castle. So he gets help from the Mario Brothers to help run Mauser and his family out of his castle. So yeah, this was a rather fun episode, but if there's one criticism that I have with this episode, and that is regarding to the text to speech voices, and no, it has nothing to do with the voices themselves. It has to do with the quality or the audio of the voices, and this was actually around the time where I wore um my AirPods because my laptop's headphone jack wasn't working properly at the time because I don't know what had happened to it. So when I went to work on this episode wearing my AirPods, some of the voices were quiet and there really wasn't anything I could do about it. So I had to release the episode the way it was. So there were some of the voices were very quiet, but other than that, I found this episode to be rather fun to work with because I introduced Mauser to the series, and this will most likely be his only appearance in the series because most likely will just be a one-off character. And yeah, some highlights of this episode we have is Mauser and his family, which consists of Miss Mouse from Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, and we got the little Mauser enemy from New Super Mario Bros. Wii as the mother and the son. Um, there was one part in the episode where when they were searching for a new place to live, Mauser enters an outhouse where he sees a toad using the restroom, and then he kicks him out of it. And there was another highlight of the episode where the little Mauser enemy was interacting with Bowser Jr., Morton Koopa, and Larry Koopa. Yes, this was the first episode where I introduced two of the Koopalings. I found that moment to be pretty funny. And then another highlight, of course, is Bowser crashing into Mario's house, asking him and Luigi for help to kick Mauser out of his castle, and so they agreed to help him out, and then they were managed to get Mauser and his family out of their castle, and then they did a little celebratory hip hip hooray moment. And yeah, that's really all I have to say for this episode. This was a rather interesting one, and outside of the text to speech voices being a little quiet, I found this episode to be rather interesting. Alright, so that is my review on a squeaky situation. The next episode is going to be Yoshi's Egg. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Again, I will try to see if I can fix this webcam situation, and if not, then I'm not going to worry about it too much, and I'll just keep doing audio formats for these types of videos. And yeah, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time with more videos. Hello, everyone. This is EB the Original Master here, and welcome back to the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario episode reviews series that I'm doing. And today I'm here to review the 7th episode of Season 2, Yoshi's Egg. So, this episode is about Yoshi laying an egg, and baby Yoshi hatches out of the egg, and Yoshi must learn what it takes to become a caretaker for the baby Yoshi. And so he ends up having Mario and Toad babysit the Yoshi while he goes out to figure out what exactly it takes to become a father for this baby Yoshi. So I want to say this is my favorite episode I've made for this season, but there is some highlights that I do want to point out from this episode that I did find unique. And one of them, of course, is the baby Yoshi hatching from the egg. And there's a little scenario where Yoshi was imagining himself trying to become a father for this baby Yoshi, and then I had a scene where a piranha plant comes out from these bushes and eats the baby Yoshi, and and there's another highlight of the episode where Mario and Toad were singing "If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands" as a song for the baby Yoshi, and as a matter of fact, the audio of Mario singing "If You're Happy and You Know It" was actually from the Super Mario Rhymes video series that I did a while back. And the biggest highlight, in my opinion, for this episode was the huge climax where Mario, Toad, and Baby Yoshi went to this Yoshi sanctuary village where Bowser and Boom Boom were there to planning an attack to sacrifice the other baby Yoshis that were on the island. And the way how I did this, I had Bowser dress up as this tribal tiki member. It was actually a Roblox model that I had designed for the episode, and I thought it was really cool having Bowser dressed up as this Tiki Max person. And yeah, that was the biggest highlight for the episode for me. So yeah, overall, this episode was just fine in my opinion. Again, this isn't one of my favorites that I made, but the next episode, oh boy, this one might end up being my favorite episode of the series as a whole. And that's going to be on Weather the Weather. Yeah, that's the next episode after this one. So yeah, that's really all I have to say with Yoshi's Egg. It was just a fine episode, and it wasn't anything too special in my opinion, but I did enjoy that climax that I worked on for the episode, and yeah. Alright, so yeah, until next time everyone, I'll see you guys in my review on Weather the Weather, and thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hello, everyone. This is EB the Original Master here, and welcome back to the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario episode review series that I'm doing. And today I'm here to review the episode Weather the Weather, which is Season 2, Episode 8 of the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario. And yeah, this is probably my favorite episode of Season 2 that I had made for the show. And in this episode, Princess Peach and the others, being Mario, Luigi, and Toad, they were planning to have an outdoor picnic, and so they decide to go out to have a picnic, basically. And Luigi suggests that they should check the weather forecast to make sure that the weather is good enough for them to go on their picnic. So they watch the weather report, and a meteorologist, Lakitu by the name of Jerry, reports that the weather is going to be very nice. And so when they step outside, that's when it starts to rain. And so basically, this whole episode is centered around Jerry Lakitu making false weather predictions to where Princess Peach becomes very angry about it because she was planning this whole picnic and she wasn't going to let it go to waste, even if it means that the weather is all bad and whatnot. So yeah, this was a really interesting and fun episode to work on because I get to do an episode about the weather and some of the weather events that happened in the episode. As I mentioned, it was raining at one point. There's also gusts of wind. There's a part of the episode where they were heading to the park, and that's when they get blown away by a gust of wind. And Toad um, actually went outside and played in the rain when it was raining outside the first time around, and then the whole climax of the episode centers around a tornado, which was really interesting because I thought this was a good way to end off the episode is to have the Mushroom Kingdom um, get under attack by a tornado. And so the episode ends with Princess Peach's castle getting destroyed from the tornado, and she faints, and that's how the episode basically wraps up. So yeah, this was a really fun episode to work on. I really enjoyed this one a lot, and I really enjoyed the concept of the episode and what I was able to do with it, such as the different weather events and everything. And this was one of my more experimental episodes for this show. All right, so yeah, that's really all I have to say with Weather the Weather. So yeah. Until next time, I'll be reviewing season 2, episode 9, King Luigi. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time with that review. Hello, everyone. This is EB the Original Master here, and welcome to the second to last review I am doing for the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario for season 2 as part of my little 10th anniversary specials. And hold on a second. All right, there we go. So yeah, I'm here to review the episode King Luigi. This is season 2, episode 9 of the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario, and this episode came out in January of 2023. And so yeah, in this episode, Princess Peach is on vacation, and Luigi enters the castle dressed up as a king, and he decides to pretend to be king to boss around Toad and Toadette, who are in the episode. And so at first, they decide to play around. What I'm trying to say, they decide to play along with Luigi pretending to be king of the castle until Luigi takes it a bit too far to where he starts abusing Toad and Toadette to where they had enough of it, and so Toadsworth makes his first appearance in the series. He only appears as a small cameo towards the end of the episode, punishing Luigi by blasting him out of the castle with a cannon as punishment for bossing Toad and Toadette around, and yeah, so that's your overall description of the episode. Now, this episode was, I would say that this episode was a little fun to work on. I did enjoy what I did with this episode, such as Luigi pretending to be king and making Toad and Toadette do all these ridiculous things, such as uh, bringing him a throne to sit on. There's actually a part in the episode where he forces Toad and Toadette to dance while wearing ballerina tutus. That was another fun segment that I worked on. And then he also forced Toad to build a statue of himself. Well, a statue of Luigi, as that's what I was trying to go for.
and Toadette was tasked to make a sandwich for Luigi until she trips over and spills it, and that's where Luigi becomes abusive and starts hitting Toad and Toadette with his scepter, to where that's where the episode's climax kicks in, where Toad had enough of it, and so Toadsworth enters the scene, and that's when he punishes Luigi. So yeah, that's really all I'll say with this episode. It was a rather interesting one to work on, and yeah, that's really all I'll have to say with King Luigi. All right, so the last episode of this series that I'll be reviewing will be on Toadbo, and yeah, so this will be the last episode, is because that I was going to review Bombs Away, but that episode has been incomplete, and because if you guys didn't get the memo, that I have decided to retire on fan made Mario series on this channel in favor for other things to do. So I will not be reviewing that episode, because I just won't, because there really isn't that much to go with that episode, since I really haven't finished it, and I mean, you know what? I can probably make an episode review, just to maybe talk about what I could have included in the episode. Yeah, I might actually do that. So yeah, after I release my Toadbo review, I will make a review on Bombs Away to tell you guys what that episode would have been like if I were to finish it, if I had the endeavors to. But yeah, so that will be a little bonus video, and then after I do that review, I will move forward to the Powerpuff Girls Powerfield series, where I'll be reviewing the episodes for that series to tell you guys how those episodes were done and what are some of my highlights of those episodes. All right, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time with my review on Toadbo.
Hello everyone, this is Evie the Original Master here, and I'm back with another discussion video. And this is going to be the second out of 3 videos where I'll be talking about one of my projects. And in this video is going to be myself talking about the canceled episode Plumber Most Wanted from the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario. So if you guys want a little bit of context of this episode, production originally started on this episode back in March of 2023, but I ended up canceling it because my old laptop that I was using running Windows 10 had unfortunately crashed and it no longer turns on. So I had to, I basically took a huge hiatus, or I canceled the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario at first once I heard about the news, and then earlier this year in 2024 I had decided to bring back the series after I had canceled the Powerfield series, and I started production again on it. I had to redo production again, and then on June 12th, that's when my new laptop, the laptop that I'm currently using, had a BitLock recovery, and so I had to do a factory reset on it, and meaning that I lost all of my files, and that's where I had to cancel it the second time. But in this video, I am going to talk about some scenes that I worked on before its cancellation that you guys haven't seen yet, because I was still working on the episode before the BitLock recovery thing. So I will be talking with you guys about some of the scenes that I worked on that was going to be in the episode for this discussion video. So the episode started off the same way as I originally had it, is when Bowser was in his castle coming up with his next scheme, and that is him disguising as Mario to frame him so he could get arrested. So he makes this giant Mario head, and then he wears it, and then he tells his minions about his plan, which I had already discussed, and then Bowser goes out his way to cause problems throughout the Mushroom Kingdom while wearing this Mario head, and because everyone around him is stupid, they assume that it is actually Mario doing all these bad things, even though it's just Bowser wearing a giant Mario head. So in the first look video that I released on Memorial Day, you had scenes such as Bowser knocking over Waluigi's mailbox, There was another scene where Bowser eats Luigi's groceries, and there were two other scenes that I worked on that you guys haven't seen yet because I was still working on the episode at the time. And one of those scenes is Bowser crashing into Yoshi's house, destroying his egg pyramid. Yoshi was in his house, basically making a pyramid out of eggs, out of his Yoshi eggs, and then Bowser just crashes into his house and he destroys them, and Yoshi gets very upset about it. And there was one more scene that I worked on where Bowser enters Peach's castle while she was painting the roof of her castle, and then Bowser then takes the ladder away from her, and then she falls into the paint bucket, and then Bowser just walks away laughing because he's evil that way. And after that scene, we got a scene of Mario getting arrested. There was these two Mafia Piantas. I actually used the Mafia Piantas from Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I used their sprites to represent the police officers, and you have Mario coming out of his house when he hears everyone complaining about him causing all these bad things, even though he didn't do anything because he was just walking out of his house. And that's where the Mafia Piantas arrest Mario. And I actually put in a little Easter egg that shows the release date of the Donkey Kong arcade game, which came out on I think it was July 31st, I believe, July 31st, 1981. I think that was the release date. I might be wrong, but yeah, that's what it was a little Easter egg. When Mario, of his mugshot, when he got arrested. And then the last scene that I worked on of the episode before the BitLock recovery thing happened is where Bowser and his minions were at the castle watching the news report of Mario getting arrested. And then after that scene, I was going to have another scene in the episode where Bowser actually goes to the jail where Mario got arrested to reveal that it was him who caused Mario to get framed, and there was going to be this huge fight sequence at the end of the episode where Mario and Bowser fights on the roof of the jail, of the roof of the prison. That was going to be this one big fight sequence, and I unfortunately never got a chance to make that scene because that was when I had the BitLock recovery thing on my laptop that I accidentally put it on, but I've learned my lesson from that, and it won't happen again. So those were all the scenes that were going to happen in Plumber Most Wanted. Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish the episode, but I learned my lesson from what happened. So, yeah. So I am still working on the next episode that is in production, which is the Toad Bow episode. That episode is still in the works right now. I'm not working on it right now because I'm actually taking a break with it, and I'm actually working on other videos for the channel at the time being. But don't worry, you guys. This episode will be released whenever I'm done with it. So just be patient. And then I will have the episode out as soon as possible. So yeah, thank you all for watching. And my final discussion video I'm going to work on about my projects is going to be the canceled Bubblebot episode from the Powerpuff Girls Powerfield series. I will talk about that in the next video, in my next discussion video, so be on the lookout for that whenever that will be. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
Hello, everyone. This is EB the Original Master here, and welcome to the second to final episode of my review series on the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario on Season 2 that I'm doing as a part of my 10th anniversary set of videos. And today I'm here to review the episode Toad Bow. So yeah, this episode is Season 2, Episode 12, and it came out on November 9th of 2011. Not 2011, sorry, 2024. I don't know why I said 2011. But yeah, so yes, this is Season 2, Episode 11. And in this episode, it centers around Toad and Toadette. And so they discover a rainbow after a rainstorm. And the rainbow sends them to a colorful world. And yeah, so that is your brief synopsis of the episode. So yeah, this episode was really fun to work on because this is another episode where I came up with original new characters, being Bluey, Pinky, Greeny, and King Thunderbolt. And surprisingly, there is something that I do want to address is that when I first came up with this episode idea back in 2021, I actually realized or noticed beforehand. I actually named Bluey Bluebert, and Greenie's original name was going to be, I think, Stevenson or something. Or yeah, I kind of forgot what I originally called Greenie, but I did had um, original names for Bluey and Greenie, and when I finally worked on the episode, I kind of forgot about those names that I had came up with previously, so I just came up with other names. And yes, the characters' names are named after their colors, so that's why I named them Bluey, Greenie, and Pinky. And so yeah, so these are the three new original characters in the episode. So yeah, the episode takes place at Rainbow World, which is the the fictional new location that I came up with, where Toad and Toadette meets up with Greenie, Bluey, and Pinky, where they get to know each other and everything. So Bluey is the blue water droplet with the blue baseball cap, and he is the older brother to Pinky, who is the pink water droplet with the light blue bow, who is the younger sister. And then you have Greenie. Yeah, sorry, I got some stuff on my lips, and I'll take care of that later. So yeah, then you have Greenie, who is the best friend of Bluey and Pinky. He's the green water droplet with the green spiky hair. So when Toad and Toadette meets up with them, they get to know each other, and as a matter of fact, Pinky and Toadette had the most interactions within the episode, and that's where I introduced King Thunderbolt, who is the main antagonist of the episode, and he's basically a larger, a gray water droplet. He actually has a crown. He has two lightning bolts on his robe, and he basically causes trouble in Rainbow World by zapping their rainbow ball, which they were playing with. And then King Thunderbolt kidnaps Bluey, Pinky, and Greenie, takes him to the top of his tower, and Toad and Toadette has to rescue them because they are their new friends and they would like to help out. So yeah, this was actually a really fun episode to work on. I really enjoyed the premise of this episode. This episode did had production problems because of the text to speech sites that I was using, trying to find the voices that I want. Well, I did find the voices that I wanted, but they were under a paywall until I found another text to speech site that had the exact same voices, but for free. And yes, unfortunately, I can no longer find that website anymore on my previous laptop because before I got my Dell Latitude, this was back when I was still using the Dell Inspiron before the whole bezel popping out and everything because when I was working on this episode, my previous laptop was still working fine, and yeah, so that's what I wanted to bring up. So yeah, the website link, I can't find the link anymore because I don't know. I think the website probably got taken down. Either way, I am very grateful that I found that website, um, because if not, this episode would have been canceled and I would have not had it released. So that was one of the production problems that I had with this episode. And yeah, so some highlights of the episode obviously were the new original characters that I came up with, King Thunderbolt. Then I also had the big climax at the end where I introduced a customized power up, which is like this yellow electricity flower. It's like it's like a yellow fire flower that Toad and Toadette uses, and they zap King Thunderbolt with lightning as revenge. And yeah, so yeah, that's really all I will add to Toadbo. So this was a fun episode. I really enjoyed it, and it was pretty fun to work on. All right, so the next episode will be the last one, and it is going to be on Bombs Away. Now, unfortunately, this episode was incomplete because if you guys want to know a Cliff Notes version of what's going on with this, I had decided to retire on making fan-made Super Mario series. After this year has been pretty rough with me making a series altogether, like I had to cancel Super Mario Dimensions because when I was transferring um, all of my files over from my old laptop to my new one, which is the one that I'm using right now, Movie Maker isn't very good when it comes to transferring files over because if you find a missing file, it will end up moving those files to the very beginning of the project, affecting the other files that were perfectly arranged. So that's what happened. And then when I was working on Bombs Away, um, that's when I immediately um, decided what I want to do for the future for my channel when it comes to making Mario related content. And I've decided that I wanted to keep my focus on doing other forms of content than just doing fan series because I've done enough fan series on this channel, and there were some ups and downs this year when it comes to projects. And another reason I have decided to retire on fan series is because of those limitations that I will have. Like, I'll discuss all of I'll actually go into more details about this when I do my year end review for 2025. I will go more into details about why I had decided to retire on fan series altogether on this main channel. I'll discuss that more into details when I do my 2025 year end review. All right, so thank you all for watching this review on Toadbo. Until next time, I will review Bombs Away to tell you guys what that episode was going to be about and what the episode would have been like if I were to finish it. All right, so goodbye, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time.
Hello, everyone. This is EB the Original Master here, and welcome to the final video of my review series on the Mustachio Adventures of Super Mario on Season 2 as part of my series of 10th anniversary episodes. Well, not episodes. These are videos that I did to honor 10 years of my channel, where I was going through reviewing the episodes from my series and pointing out some production tidbits and some highlights. And in this video is going to be on the incomplete episode of Bombs Away. So yeah, this episode was released incomplete is because that I've announced in October that I will no longer be producing a fan series based off of Super Mario. And the reason why I had decided on this decision is because that 2025 in terms of fan series and movies was not a pretty good year because I canceled Super Mario Dimensions because my previous laptop, which was the Dell Inspiron, the bezel around the screen had popped out again. When I went to use my laptop on the day that it happened, I had it closed up, and when I went to open it, that's when the bezel popped out because the hinge underneath the laptop was coming out because the Dell Inspiron was known for that, because I've read reviews on it on the day that the incident happened, and a lot of people were having the same issue, so I had to purchase a new laptop. And when I went to when my new laptop came in, I wanted to transfer the Super Mario Dimensions file over to my new laptop, and because Movie Maker is very weird when it comes to transferring files over, when I went to search for those missing files, the files, instead of appearing into their correct spots, it moved to the very beginning of the project, and because of it doing that, it affected the other files, and I didn't want to sit around rearranging those files, so I canceled Super Mario Dimensions, and that's when I decided to start production on Bombs Away. Now, why didn't finish Bombs Away? Well, it was because that because 2025 in general was just not really good when it came to projects. I just felt like that I think it was about time for me to just wave the white flag with fan projects because it had been a really good run. Like, I really did enjoy making fan series based off of the series that I enjoyed. Like, I did the SpongeBob Roblox series back in the day. That was a success. And then I ended that series off pretty well. I did the Angry James show, which was my only original series, meaning that it was a series that wasn't based off of a TV show. It was actually based off of these characters on the SitePal editor website. And even though I didn't create those characters, they were made specifically for the website. They were original enough to claim to be my own original series. And then I did the Powerfield series, and that ended up getting canceled because the limitations that I had. So yeah, that's really the main reason why I've decided to not finish Bombs Away, because it's because of limitations. Well, I wasn't limited with the Mustache Adventures Super Mario with the newer format that I did. It was just that I thought, I think, well, okay, I'm sorry if I'm going all over the place here with this video, but yeah, so I thought that I think I've done enough with fan series, and I wanted to mainly focus on other endeavors like doing reviews for video games, or maybe covering fan games and stuff like that. Even though I did that already on the channel while I was still doing fan series, I wanted that to be my new focus for the channel, was doing those fan series. Well, not fan series, was covering fan games, and doing other things like reviewing video games, doing other types of content. And that's the reason why I've decided to release Bombs Away incomplete in favor for other things. And yeah, that's exactly why I made that announcement video back in October. Yeah, it was October the 6th when I made the update video and I released it. So yeah, Bombs Away was released incomplete, and this episode centers around King Bob-omb and his army forming an attack on Princess Peach's castle, and that's when a Bob-omb buddy from Super Mario 64 comes to the aid of Mario and Princess Peach to help stop King Bob-omb from invading Peach's castle. Now, the clip that I released onto YouTube, or the video, the video that I released, which was the incompleted version, it featured the opening sequence of King Bob-omb and his army starting the invasion of Peach's castle, and then that's where we got the Bob-omb buddy flying to Peach's castle to inform Mario and Peach that King Bob-omb was going to invade her castle. And this is where the idea that I had was I was going to have Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad. They go their separate ways to find weapons that could help them defeat King Bob-omb. And then after they find these weapons, that's where they actually fight King Bob-omb. And that's how the episode will end off, is they win the fight. And yeah, that's really all the episode was going to be about. And yeah, that's really all I can say with Bombs Away, because since this episode was incomplete, I really can't describe what the episode would have been like. Well, I already did, but I couldn't explain what it would have looked like because I never finished the episode. But I did at least tell you guys in this video what the overall premise was and what the execution was going to be like. So yeah, that's it. Those are all the Mustache Friends of Super Mario episodes from Season 2. Yeah, so in 2026, I will start reviewing the Powerfield episodes from the Powerfield series. I will start those series of reviews in 2026. And also in the future, I might consider reviewing my other past works, like Super Mario Escape from Bowser Island. I might do a review on that film to give you guys some highlights of that film and the production of that film. And I will also consider reviewing Mario and Luigi Meets the Powerpuff Girls, which was the 2022 crossover special. That was another fun project that I worked on in 2022. And yeah, so thank you all for joining me on this journey of myself reviewing every episode of Season 2 of the Mustache Adventures of Super Mario as part of my 10th anniversary series. Again, thank you for understanding my decision of retiring on fan series on this channel, because let's face it, it's been a good run. I've enjoyed making these fan series, and I think it's about time for me to move on and do other stuff for the channel, like fan series. Okay, I'm gonna stop because I'm just keep screwing this up for no reason. Like, what I meant to say is doing video game covers on fan games of Mario games and doing other types of content like reviews and video game covers and all that. And yeah, that's what I was trying to say. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in 2026 with my reviews on the Powerpuff Girls Powerfield episodes, which is another fan series that I covered, that I did on this channel. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, so goodbye everyone, and I will see you guys next time.